the guy in the kitchen again. I thought I'm gonna do a bit some salad and just chat while I'm doing the salad, but if I put the camera over here, I can't. Maybe we just take a video from the salad and not my face. How about that? So you just see me doing a salad and maybe having a chat. My salad is always pretty much basic. Pretty basic. Is it basic? What does it even mean, basic? Basic means like, in other words, maybe simple. Yeah, but actually it's not that simple. Look at this fridge is, it damaged all the food because it's too cold. But if you're not doing it super cold, then it damaged the food because it's too warm. You would think, how about I find the middle way? Sure. I tried that. So, just gonna wash a little bit. Wash up the sand. Some people say don't wash it too much. You know, you want to have a bit some dirt. But I don't need the sand. I don't want to eat the sand. So back to here, over here where the cutting board is. So it is pretty warm today. It is pretty warm today. But the aircon at work is just too cold. But today I just said, hey guys, I'm feeling cold here. I had a little bit of conversation with that one guy. I understand that the production people want to have it a bit colder because they're working. But me on the other hand, I'm mostly sitting and it just gets freezing. You know, you don't need to put the aircon on 18 degrees and like 3-4 fan up. It's just too cold. It just burns. You know, I think in our case maybe 20, 22 is fine. 24 is probably a bit too warm. You can't keep up because 24 our doors are open and closing. We have printers running. I understand, I think. But in an office, I would say 24, half, 25 is a good temperature. And low, just low fan. Doesn't need to blow out super strong, but the problem is everyone is different. Everyone has different, I don't know, body conditions. Those, no offense to fat people, but if you have more weight, if you have more fat, that keeps you warmer. And I think also when you're overweight, your body has to work harder, your heart has to work harder to maintain your body. And I think that's why the overweight people always feel like hot. They need colder air conditions. That's just my experience. And my last job, the other guy, my other boss, he was kind of pretty lean, you know. He didn't have much fat. He was bodybuilder, not much fat, and he feels the same like me, just cold, you know. And all these other guys, they just wanted to super cold. And some of the guys actually, they're not that fat, but I think because they worked more than me on the computer. If I start eating now, then probably I can't talk. Alright, let's get some salt. So, if you go to work and your smoothie glass looks like this, not very appealing, isn't it? No wonder people say, wow, what's this? That looks like, I don't want to use these words, but am I getting offended? Maybe a little bit, but also not. Because I like my smoothies. But yeah, so doing a couple of olives. So yeah, I have my base is always like lettuce, Roman lettuce, or somehow. If I have some spring onions, I like to put spring onions in. They're awesome, but they create a lot of gas. They create a lot of gas, and I don't know, this is just not comfortable. So I might just leave it out. I don't know what's more important, taste or freaking farting all the time. Because tomato, I actually often like my salads with no tomato, because I think if you eat a lot of, the salad should be green. If it's a green salad, then and we add another color in there, like red capsicum or a red tomato, it somehow goes in a different direction. It's, I think it's biting each other. But if you keep the salad green, maybe a little bit color, like some yellow corn or some yellow or orange capsicum, this is still okay. But tomato somehow goes in a different direction. But I do it anyway, still tastes nice. So then we're adding apple cider vinegar. It's supposed to be really healthy, and I also just like it because it makes the salad kind of makes it taste quite nice. Like, I don't know how to explain this taste, like alcohol. Somehow bitter, a bit bitter and sour. Then I like to add a little bit mixed herbs, and I mean this is all quite fancy here, you know, mixed herbs. Fancy, it's not that fancy. I think the most basic one would be just salt and pepper, and you're good to go. In from Woolworths, it's just corn inside, no sugar or salt. So I know it would be more healthy to use the corn from proper corn, but to be honest, I prefer this one. It's not cooked. I don't know if it's cooked, but it's soft. If you use the corn from a proper corn, it feels kind of, I don't know, they may be cooked, I'm not sure. Nice and salty. This salad itself is already good enough. Very nice. So, and now if I add the tomato, it kind of goes in different direction, in a little bit I wouldn't say destroy the salad, but especially those tomatoes. Those tomatoes from the supermarket, they're just absolutely they have no minerals and vitamins inside. That's why they taste just like water. They look like a tomato, actually they don't even, you can see the colors. They're like so light, you know. A tomato should be nice and strong red. So, especially if you have ever had a tomato from a garden. Whew, tomatoes from a garden, man, that's a big difference, you know. Very big difference. You could just, I grew up with just sometimes eating just tomato salad with onions. That's just awesome. So I'm cutting a little bit here. Unfortunately, my knife is not the best. Cutting a little bit garlic. A little bit garlic here. if you have the time to add garlic in your salad, man, you're the man. You're the man. Because if you add those fresh herbs in there, whew, or like some fresh basil, salad just tastes awesome, man. The thing is, when you do it every day, if you never really had salads and you don't like salads, and you start eating salads, you probably don't really like them. But if you start doing it every day, after a couple of days, your body gets used to it and it starts craving it and enjoying it. I guess with everything, like cigarettes, alcohol. Also in summertime, when it's nice and warm, you enjoy salad more than in wintertime. Very yummy. Very yummy. So we could here add another avocado. Avocado again could make a salad totally different because this brings in a lot of fat. Sometimes could be just a bit too much. The salad I'm having now is actually really yummy, and especially when I was younger, I also like more is better, but no, especially sometimes when it comes to cooking, less is better, because it becomes, if you add too many things in your salad or in your food, it becomes overwhelming. I think your taste buds, they don't really know what to taste. It's too confusing. So keep your foods, I would say, always simple. Oh, that avocado is not ready. Damn it. That is not ready here. And if food is not ready, you just know it. You eat it and you just, your body is just saying, what is this? And actually with a lot of food. A lot of food from the supermarket is picked unripe, and then if you pick your fruits and vegetables unripe, I understand they have to do that because you have to kind of get it from your farm to the supermarket, you know, that all takes time. And if you pick your fruit vegetables right on time, then they will be off once in the supermarket. So they kind of have to pick fruits and vegetables unripe, which means all these minerals and vitamins are missing. Pointless. So you think you're living healthy, but you're actually not. It just looks like a salad, but it's missing all the minerals and vitamins. But I think probably still better than eating McDonald's every day. At least it makes me feel better. But I think the way to go is have your own farm, you know, grow your own vegetables and fruits, kill your own your animals, eat some, I don't know, some fish, beef, sheep, whatever. At least as long as it's from your farm, and you know what you feed that cow. Or You know, I don't like killing anything, animals, but if you have your own farm, you grow your cow, and at a certain time you just kill it and you eat it and you have meat for the whole family for a whole year, why not? I think that is okay. I think it's okay, because I think I've tried many times vegan or vegetarian. I think we need to eat meat. There's just something in the meat. But hey, if you can live vegan, congratulations. I don't really believe in it anymore. I really don't believe in it anymore. If vegan would be so healthy and it would work, I think there would be way more people doing it. Like, I literally don't know anyone. I don't know anyone. I know a YouTube video, Marcus Rothkranz, but they're also adding so many minerals and vitamins to their diet, like supplements, which makes you feel like, really? If you have to add so many minerals and vitamins, maybe something missing here. So, and I think eating meat is just probably easier for everyone. What I just don't like is this animal farming. It's just horrible. I don't want to watch it. It just, it's horrible. And the only way I think you can change this is you have your own farm. Have your own farm. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm just gonna cook this broccoli. I don't have filtered water, but I have water. Thank you for that water. Thank you for that water. So I'm gonna take this broccoli out here. It starts getting soft. So I gotta do it. I always buy these broccoli, but I never end up cooking them. You know what I mean? I always have my smoothies, my meats, a little bit carbs like a potato, sweet potato. I don't like really pasta. Pasta just blocks you up, and rice is okay. I personally would cook rice, but my wife is Asian. She always cooks rice, so I eat it. But it's not something I don't know. I'm excited of even sweet potato. I do like fried potatoes, but then it becomes like chips. If you eat fried potatoes, then it's fried. Try to steam it, cook it, try to keep your food in the most natural way, as least processed as possible. Which would be for carbs for me, the rice, and I think the best option is potatoes, and they're saying sweet potatoes are the best, so that's what I'm doing. For lunch I have my minced beef with some veggies and a little bit sweet potato. At night time, like now, I have my salad. I have my salad. I have the meat. That would be my dinner, and then for dessert I'll have some fruits, get some carbs in. I think it's the best. No sugar, no Coca-Cola, no candy, no ice cream. Actually, that works the best. That really works the best. I thought if I don't have any carbs for nighttime, yeah, you're still craving it. But then if I add the fruits, I'm actually okay. I'm okay. That's a good way to do it. So now I'm just gonna cook this. Oh, I normally cook the water first and then chuck in everything in, but I don't know, I can't be bothered. That's why I'm often not cooking any vegetables, because there's always a third extra option you need to do, which I just can't be bothered. So, plus vegetables are also, they don't really, I don't know, they don't really give me much. I like my salads because this is all raw. This is quite nice. But like extra vegetables to my food, cooked food, I don't know. It's not that appealing to me, because I think from my knowledge, if you cook vegetables, they also just turn in sugars. So I like to stay with the and I always cook actually salt water, and then I cook my veggies in there. But I don't have much salt left. Cook those properly, and I'm gonna cook chicken thigh with skin. So this chicken thigh, normally when I'm in Perth, when you go to the butcher, they have chicken thighs. There's no bone in. But here in Karratha, I went to Woolworths, to the deli, and they have bones in their chicken thigh. Is it called chicken thigh? Chicken thigh with skin on. Yeah. The good thing about bones is it gives a bit some extra flavor, and that looks like a lot of chicken. So, I can't stand these taps in Australia. I don't know why they're still doing it. Even in new houses, you have those taps with warm and cold. Why? You know, you always have to touch the tap, which is stupid, because often you have oily, sticky, dirty hands. So you touch the tap, you open the tap is then dirty, you wash your hands nice and clean, and then you have to clean the tap again, which is dirty. So your hands are always dirty then. Yeah, I mean, you can use your elbow, but this is just painful. So what I do is I always wash my hands, put soap on my hands, and also soap on the tap, and wash it. Yeah, I developed this kind of habit in the last couple of years. Actually, I don't want to talk about it, but somehow I also need to talk about this, about washing hands. But maybe another time. I'll tell you the exciting story about why I'm washing my hands 1,000 times a day. So, I have a little bit garlic left here. I'm just going to chuck in the chicken. Why not? So, where's my corn? So I'm cooking the chicken. Once the water is boiling, I put in the broccoli. And while this is all happening, I'll clean up. I grew up, my mom would always clean before we eat. So you cook, you clean all your dishes, at least most of it. And I think this is a really good idea, because when you cook, the food is often still hot. You put it on your plate, put it on the table, and if you do your dishes first, you know how it is. You know how it is. You know how it is when you're finished eating. Who wants to do the dishes? You're full, you're done, you're tired, and then you see this big pile of dishes. Fuck this. So, and the thing is, you're also faster. You have more motivation to do the dishes when you do the dishes first. Yeah. So when your food is on the table, you're hungry. You want to eat it. So you go for it. You do the dishes and you get it as quick done as possible. Yeah, because you want to eat. You don't want to muck around. Or when you do your dishes after the eating, oh, you muck around because you can't be bothered, you know, and so I think this is something I think a really good thing I learned from my mom. Here's the chicken, here's the broccoli. I could probably cut that, you know. If you make a video about cooking, you would probably cut out all these breaks. But I can't be bothered. I think sometimes actually it's more natural, not cutting all the bullshit out. Just let the video run, and that's it. I think that is more natural. You can't handle it as a consumer who's watching this video. You're better off just watching other shorts. But seriously, from time to time, watch some videos where someone is not cutting every second and cutting from this angle and this angle. It can be actually really, what's the word? It's not entertaining, but it's just nice to watch sometimes. Sometimes it's just nice to watch because it's more natural. I think the reason why we're cutting out things of the video is because we didn't say the right thing, or we're afraid someone is offended or whatever, someone would judge you. But I think it's important to understand that when you talk, we also make mistakes. You know how many times I just talk, then I realize, fuck, what kind of bullshit did I just talk, you know? And then you just correct yourself instead of cutting out every second. But hey, so I'm just waiting until the water boiling and washing my dishes. I don't know if you want to see me washing my dishes. Maybe I could just talk about something while I'm washing my dishes. Yeah. Maybe you can watch me washing dishes. How exciting is that? But you know, in this world, we always see these short, super stimulating videos. I think sometimes watching a so-called boring video where not much happening is can be also very enjoying, because you realize, fuck, that guy is also just cooking with a knife and washing dishes with water and soap. No special effects, no superhero, just someone washing dishes. So we could talk about washing dishes. Some people, even in my family, washing dishes, they're not rinsing the dishes, which makes no sense to me. If I wash my dishes, all the dirt, and now I would put it over here. What the fuck? All the dirt, the soap is still here. You have to rinse it. You have to rinse off the soap. You don't want to eat that soap. And I also don't want to have my food scraps still hanging on there. Plus, if you rinse the dishes with hot water, they actually dry faster. I don't dry my dishes. When I grew up, I was always washing dishes with my dad. I was washing the dishes and my dad would dry them. So very German, I would say. Now I don't have time and I can't be fucked to wash my dishes and also dry them. Put them away just so next time I just take them out of the cupboard again and use them. This is for me a little bit waste of time. Maybe it looks nicer, and if I have a bit more time I would maybe do it, but now I simply just wash my dishes, rinse it and put it over here, and then next time I'm cooking it is ready. It is ready, it's there, I don't need to look for it, I don't need to take it out again. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. I do agree, those smoothies in this glass, it doesn't look appealing. That's, I think, mainly because of the spinny, the cacao, that makes it really dark and weird looking, chunky. You know, I think people expecting a smoothie to be nice and smooth. I have a blender here from Kmart, which doesn't make the smoothie actually that smooth, and I like that. I don't like my smoothie really smooth, it just tastes weird. So, but if I leave out the greens, for example, if I make a smoothie just using banana, mixed frozen berries, coconut water, that looks really nice, nice and purple, beautiful colors. People will think, wow, congratulations, how beautiful your smoothie looks like. But you need to get the greens in. You need to have the greens in. Half green, even if you can, more greens than fruits. So I think that's it. I think that's it for today. Everyone have a good day, good night. See you next time.